affect my taste buds a little bit, but that's a good thing. I lost a few pounds.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that.
I know it.
Yeah.
So you're from Brockton?
Yep, yep.
Born and raised there?
Yes, sir. City of
Yeah.
Champs.
What's that?
The City of
City of
Champs.
Champs?
Yeah.
You're living off that boxing career, guy.
Yeah. Gotta make it live, man. Gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. You from Boston?
From Lynn.
From Lynn.
Originally. I'm living up in New Hampshire now.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I made a move a few years ago, but originally from Lynn. City of Sin, same type of atmosphere as Brockton, you know?
Yeah, not too much different.
Yeah. But you know, once you're from there, everything is good, you know? I mean, I feel comfortable there all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Some people are threatened by Brockton and Lynn and places like that, but to me, it's home, you know?
Yeah, seriously. When people are talking about, oh my goodness, that's where you live, it must be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I know.
Yeah.
It's strange, huh?
Seriously,
You're
yep.
more comfortable going out in your hometown than you do walking around Boston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are our other folks? They should be coming in here.
Hello.
Hi, Catherine.
Hey.
How are you?
How are you?
How are you? Oh, wait a minute.
Can't see you. There you are.
Try not to skip.
Yeah. Is John going to join us or not?
He had a death in the family,
Oh, really?
his immediate household, so he's out for the rest of the week.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. On top of that, his son broke his leg playing hockey on Saturday and has to have surgery tomorrow. And the funeral is tomorrow, so he's got his.
When it rains, it pours, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we got Terrance Forbes here with us, and he's been working with People Architects, I guess, in Boston for the last 6 years. So, Terrance, you know, this is more of a meet and greet, pretty low key. We don't want you to feel any pressure. Catherine will tell us a little bit about the project once we hear a little bit about you, and then we'll move forward.
Of course.
So if you don't mind, Terrance, you can just tell us what you've been doing for the last 6 years briefly, and let us know what's happening.
Of course, of course. So, upon graduation, I started my career at Shire Pharmaceutical as a facility designer. So basically, I was the guy on the ground running around to all 6 sites, ensuring that the plans lined up with the existing conditions. And also, my daily duties is to make sure that we got ready for move day, which was on Friday. So I would go ahead and check the space prior to move day, make sure if there were any infractions, they were taken care of, like holes in the wall, stains on the carpet, needed a desk or something like that. Those are taken care of prior to move-in day on Friday. And so I have to make a detailed description of those on a daily basis. And then come Friday, when move day would come, I would manage the move crew and make sure everybody's personal belongings got from their old space into their new space. And so I have to do another thorough walkthrough of their old space and then into the new space to make sure everything was delivered properly. And then
Did you do the construction? Let me just interrupt for a second, Terrance. Did you do the construction of these spaces to start with?
Did I physically do this construction?
The build out of the spaces, was that part of your duties as well?
Oh no, so when they purchased the new spaces, the buildings are already constructed and everything was already there. The offices were already there.
Okay.
Yeah. The only construction that we did do was the cubicles and then the bullpens, those kind of workspaces. But for offices, those are already there.
Okay. And so then we'll fast forward up here to Peoples and what's going on there and what are you doing there?
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
And with Peoples, what are you doing for that outfit?
So with them, when I started, I was the guy on the ground taking the measurements and the pictures of the existing conditions. Then I moved up to eventually doing the drawings of the existing conditions, and then working with the owner and actually bringing their visions to reality.
So with Peoples, you were doing the actual construction work, supervising of construction, or
It was the design work, but then also working with the commercial contracts. We were working with the contractors and the PMs to see the project through.
alright? Catherine, you wanna tell us a little bit about the fans and where we are with that? It's been a while.
Project, yeah. It's called the Fence Gatehouse, and it was, has the sluice gates in there that are being decommissioned. That go, it's right beside the Charles River. It used to be, I think, right along the river, and then they pushed the river back. But this is like I think the total project cost is like 2.5 million, and the construction part of that is about 1.5. But there's a lot of special interest. We're renovating this building and repurposing it for the TCR's flood control unit, and we'll be sealing off all those sluice gates and putting a new topping slab over it. And then we end up having to do a lot of stuff with the MWRA, Boston Water and Sewer Commission. DCR is going to be in there, so there's a lot of interaction with them. And we had, they're already working there, but they just cut a hole in the side of the building, put a new opening for the door, or replacing the roof, things like that.
What's that gonna be, office space when they're done?
It's gonna be like a workshop office space. It's gonna be, we'll have a restroom there. We have to do a water line, because the one that was there, Boston Water and Sewer considers it abandoned because it's been just sitting for so long. And then the building is like circa 1908 or something in that range. So, and there's a lot of neighborhood interest in it too. And there were homeless people living there, but hopefully they moved across and under the other overpass because we have trails there now and we have it fenced off. In the construction, they have started. The general contractor is BC Construction, and the design team is Feingold Alexander, and should take about 9 months to complete. It's fairly small, you know, but interesting project because of the history and all that.
Okay.
There's stuff ongoing every day, right, Catherine, or not?
It should be going every day, but from what I've seen in the reports and the like, it's right now they're gearing up to get like abatement of the roof, that type of thing done, and then they kind of stop and then they start their next task a day or two later. So not constant, but they're super is there pretty much every day, and obviously we would expect the resident to be there every day. And we're right down the street with Staples. It's like a mile and a half away. This is an enabling project for that project.
Okay.
Okay.
And so what it sounds like is that you need someone on the ground for your eyes and ears on a daily basis, correct?
Correct. And you have your own trailer, and we have obviously the computers and cell phone, you know, all that stuff. Document everything that's going on.
Okay.
Are you familiar with eBuilder, Terrance, at all? eBuilder is our primary management tool that we've been using recently.
No, not really.
If you know other
But-
software, it's fairly easy to pick up when we do
Okay.
training, you know, but I think if you can do any of the kind of complicated ones like CAD or any of those,
Yeah.
it's fairly straightforward, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I'm a fast learner, so whatever I need to learn, I'll pick up on it.
What do you use? Do they use a management program at the architectural firm you're with now? Do they use Procore or?
No, right now we just use Excel to document everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
this project does have Procore too. The general contractor uses that, RFI submittals, project meeting minutes, schedules, all that's in there.
Okay. So yeah, we are a smaller firm. So Excel has been working for us, but it's not a problem to pick up on new skills and learn new things.
Yep. So, with Peoples, do you have benefits, or are you just there as a contract employee?
Yes, it's just a contract employee. It's based on projects.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I was wondering why you would jump after being 6 years to a position where there are no benefits to speak of, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just a little curious about that.
No, it's the same thing. No benefits, all contracts. But I'm looking to move on to larger projects.
Yep. Okay. You have your OSHA 10, I believe, correct?
Yes, I do have my OSHA 10. Yep.
Do you have the card as well? I mean, is that accessible? Or, okay.
Yes, I do have the car. Yep.
Catherine, I don't know if you have any other questions. I'm gonna spend some time with Terrance going over anything as far as the resident engineer duties and things like that. I don't want to tie you up with that, but I will touch base with you after, unless you have something else that
No, the
discuss.
only thing I would ask is, how are you working along? Because a lot of the residents, they end up having to reach out to us. You know, we have obviously a lot of other projects, and they have to be able to say this has to be pushed up the ladder. You know, and some people don't do well alone.
It's not a no, definitely it's not a problem. At People's, majority of the work I spent alone with the drawings, and then when needed, I'll go ahead into my supervisor. But my majority of the time was alone. I did work a lot with people at my other job at Benjamin Franklin. So I'm versatile with both aspects, whether a team aspect or working alone.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'll let you guys finish up. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Terry.
Okay.
Of course, great to meet you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So Terrance, I don't know if you have, I mean, as you can see, it's very brief and informal.
That's no problem.
You know, your actions will speak for themselves. The job, looked at your resume, I feel comfortable with that. I'm hoping things will work out. This project is kind of out of the beaten path. It's kind of set aside. Might seem like it's a project that it doesn't have a lot of exposure, but it is an important project to us. It's one of many. Once we complete this, which should be in December, we've just moved on to something bigger and better. So I think it would be a good project for anyone, yourself in particular, to break in on, because there's not going to be a lot of pressure. It'll give you time to learn eBuilder and Procore and things that you have to know. So this might work out beneficial for both of us.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any questions about what I sent you for information. I can tell you there's plenty of opportunity in the agency to move up. We generally post positions almost on a weekly basis. You happen to be joining the Commonwealth at a time when there's quite a bit of turnover, because a lot of us started way back when, and it's time to move to the next part of our life. So there is quite a bit of turnover. There's quite a bit of opportunity to come in as a full-time employee. It's the standard process. They will post the job. You'll get a notice of that because you'll be on the state email. And, you know, like anything, you throw your name in the hat and a resume. If you get interviewed, then you interview, and if you're lucky, you get a job. You know, it's nothing different than the outside world.
Okay.
But there is opportunity. So, you know, although I stress when I send the information out that this is strictly a contract position, because I don't want to promise you something that may never happen.
Yeah.
Some of the guys have been with us 15 years, and they're happy being out in the field. Then we have other guys that have been here 2 months ago, and they're dying to get a full-time job, which I don't blame them. So, you know, there's both ends of the spectrum here, and we try to take care of everybody. I'll always be able to keep you working pretty much as long as you want. and at the same time, you just keep throwing your hat in, don't get discouraged. If a manager's job comes up, if what we call a project engineer's job comes up, you get your name in there, get the exposure, do the interview, and, you know, the more interviews you do, the better off and more qualified you are for the next one, you know?
Sounds good. Yeah.
I just want you to understand there is opportunity to move up, you know?
Yep.
Do you have any questions about anything that I sent you, Terrance?
So, I went over the scope of work on what is required of a resident engineer, and
Yes.
what I got from it is that I'm really the eyes and ears because I'm the one on the ground, and it's daily documentation, everything from the weather to manpower, machinery being used, every aspect of the job. And so, I was gonna ask, what is it that you're looking for in an individual for the position?
Well, dependability is certainly a big factor. The way these are set up, they're contract positions. If we're not to show up for the job, then I don't have anybody there covering the project. So dependability is a big factor. You know, loyalty to the Commonwealth and to your project team, that's expected. And on the same hand, we extend that loyalty and dedication back to you. We expect there are things you'll be reviewing change orders, you'll be reviewing pay requisitions, so you have to stay fully in tune with the project. We expect you to be there from usually at 7 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, whatever that 8-hour period is. Sometimes you may get on a project where they start at 6:30, and then we would ask you to be there at 6:30 to whenever the 8 hours is over.
Of course.
It's a mandatory lunch that you have to take, so the general day is 8 hours. If there's overtime involved, if the contractor was wants to say, listen, I've got a concrete pour going here, looks like we're going to go beyond such and such a time, then what you would do is you would just get on, email your manager or call her on the phone, say, listen, the contractor's requested to work some overtime tonight. I'm willing to stay or I can't stay, whatever the situation may be. She would give you permission to do that. And you'd stay on and handle whatever had to be handled on the project. Your authority, it depends on the manager you work with. Once you get comfortable with them and once they get comfortable with you, they may say, well, listen, Terrance, you know about that. Why don't worry about contacting me, take care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other times, if they're not comfortable with you, they may want you, they may micromanage a little bit. It all depends who you're working for. You know, some people are different than others. My team, I don't like to micromanage them. The less I have to do, the better I feel about it. As long as I know everything is getting done the way it should, I'm not getting phone calls. I'm a happy camper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it all depends who you work with. Catherine has been with us for quite a while. She's a good gal, very knowledgeable. Used to work for Filene's all over the country, building out Filene's and building buildings for them. And she's been with us probably, I would guess, at least probably 15 years or more as a project manager. She has a wealth of experience. She does like things done the way she wants. And I don't have an issue with that. And as long as she tells you what she wants and you can pull that, that's beautiful. Part of her team is another gentleman by the name of John, who we talked about briefly. He's been with the Commonwealth quite a while. His family owned a construction business. So John is he's very well versed himself. You'll also meet another member of that team named Maureen McIntyre, who has been with us probably 20 years. She's working on the state police project right up the street from you. She'll be a good resource for you to talk to. She is probably one of our better, she's not a resident, she's a full-time employee, but she started off with us as a resident and has moved her way up. She's very dedicated and excellent at her job. So if you get to pick her brain, you know, whatever she may extend to you,
Yeah.
keep it in the back of your mind because she does a great job for us.
Okay.
I don't know if that answered everything about your question, but it gets you probably going anyway.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely answered my other question, which would say what would former residential engineers say about the position. But the fact that you said some of them love it, stayed there for 15 years, some of them moved on, it was a starting point. It really gives me that scale of what I should be looking at.
Yeah, a lot of our guys, because it's a contract position with no benefits, you have some people that, you know, their wives are working, their wives have the benefits, so they don't care about that.
Yeah.
They like the opportunity to go from this job to this job to this job. What happens in this position is you become a jack of all and a master of maybe one, whatever your dedicated field is, you know. But, you know, you may be on an electrical job for a while, you may be on a plumbing job, a boiler job. We build buildings for the medical examiner, we build the higher ed, we build courts, we build prisons. So, I mean, the knowledge that you'll gain is really diversified, and it'll set you up so that if you do want to make a move at some point away from DCAM, if you don't like us, if it doesn't look like you're moving fast enough, then there are plenty of offers. Once you say that you work for DCAM, that'll scoop you up. So it's a great stepping stone. I don't want you to leave, and I don't even want to apply that. I want you to come with us. I want you to stay with us. I want you to get a full-time job with the Commonwealth. If that happens, that's wonderful. I can't promise that, but I certainly hope that for you. And that's where we are. You know, the next step would be for us now. I will talk to Catherine, make sure that she's comfortable with you, and then I will contact HR, tell them that I'm ready to bring on Terrance. We would try to get you on probably by the end of the month. I don't know what your commitment is, and I would assume you'd want to give these folks a couple weeks' notice. But you know, I don't know your commitment to them. If you have to finish something for them, I don't want you to burn any bridges, but at the same time, I want to get you as soon as I can. Whatever's amicable for both of us would work out well, you know.
Yeah. Now, I would only have to give them because I did let them know that I am seeking other employment to move on to doing bigger projects, and so he said that's fine, not a problem. I just finished up I'm finishing up one last project with them, so he said 1 to 2 week notice is, you know, more than enough. It's been there a long time. We have a great relationship. So yeah, I'm leaving on a great note, and I'm sure it's not gonna be the last time I'm gonna be with Peoples, you know, doing work with them.
Yeah.
But they know that I have been seeking employment for some time now.
Oh, that's good. It's good to be up front. I'm glad that it's working out. Can I ask you what you're making with them, Terrance? We've already talked money, so I think we're pretty well locked in. But I'm just curious what you're getting from them.
From them, it's about 72 a year.
Oh, so it's just about a lateral.
Same. Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking because I know after speaking with Diderot, he let me know how deep DCAM really is in Massachusetts and the opportunities that they have. So after doing my own research, I know that there's over 15% of property that you guys own in the state. So I'm really just looking to move on to bigger projects now.
Okay, that's good. All right, so this one is not the biggest project for sure that you're going to be working on, but like I said, it's probably a good groundbreaker for you.
Yep.
If this works out, we'll get you onto something. You know, the one I had you lined up for Bunker Hill is about an $80 million project. There is one resident that's on there right now, but they're just in the beginning stages. They haven't even really got going.
Okay.
By the time you're wrapping up here in December, hopefully, you know, that might be the next one you may move to, or we may shift you to another one on your own. It all depends what's going on. You know, the way it works is the Commonwealth, at 1 minute we're heavy in and north of Boston, and then we're heavy in central Boston, and then we've got stuff going on in Western Mass. So we're jumping guys all over the place. I always try to keep you within an hour of your home.
Okay.
I figure that's fair. Everybody generally travels an hour to get to work, no matter how they get there.
Yeah.
First.
Yep.
So, I always give you the opportunity. If I can't keep you within an hour, then I say, listen, this is what I have. If this is something you want to take, you have the opportunity to do that. It might be a little further, and hopefully it never will be. But we'll keep you busy. We look forward to you coming on board. And as I said, I'll talk with Catherine now. I'll get back to you today. And then if things are great, then you can give your notice, and I'll give you a date that I think will be able to get you on board, and we'll start moving from there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Whenever you're ready, I got my hard hat and boots ready.
All right, we'll be giving you a new hard hat. We'll be giving you a vest and glasses, some safety stuff, and a tablet. We'll get going here.
Sounds good, done.
All right, Terrance. Look forward to talking with you a little later today.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Terry.
All right, take care.
You go by Terry or Terrance?
Terry's just fine.
All right, thank you.
All right, no problem. I'll see you.
See you later.
All right.
You just got yourself a job.
Hey, why white people always want to call me Terry?
Wait, they call me.
Old white guys. It's not the white women, it's white guys. Terry. They call you what, Joe?
Joe.
She was in and out. I was like, damn, did she like me?
No, she probably have
Straight to the point, she gotta
again. That's probably how because, and I know who she is. I know her well.
Oh, she's nice? Like
She's
cool?
No, she's cool. But the guy John that works for him, he's a racist. He's first of all that's what he's younger, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we speculating that he's a racist because he never talks to people. But when we see him in the hallway, when we look at him, so once you get in there, you have to set the tone with him.
Yeah.
Once you get in there, because first of all, once you're in there, you cannot be fired. Once you're in there, so we set the tone with him. Once you're in there, he's a little shorter. He has a limp. He have that. To always.
He's young or old?
He's younger. He's younger.
Like 30s?
Yeah. So I mean, he's a little short, but I mean, when sometimes he say hi, but I just ignore him when he say hi because it's just that vibe about him. He think he's better than everybody else, like he's entitled to be there. So again, don't be concerned about that. Actually, you're gonna intimidate him because he's just it seems like he's kind of scared of black people. So you're gonna intimidate him. Don't let that be your concern.
Yeah. Damn, I was hoping to get that Bunker Hill project.